Westervelds at 7 o'clock, 7 till 10 every weekday morning here on BBC Radio London. Now, half of people working in the creative industries have been forced to borrow money during the coronavirus crisis to survive. The union Bectu asked 3,000 people working in the creative industries to take part in the survey, asking them what government support they've managed to access during the crisis. 23% said they'd used their overdraft. 21% reported using a credit card. 5% said they'd taken out a loan. The union is saying that this shows many film, TV, theatre, live events, arts freelancers have access to extremely limited supports. They're being forced into debt or relying on charity to get through the crisis. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Dawn Spragg, who's the chair of Bectu's Supporting Artists branch, the Film Artists Association. She joins me now. Good morning to you, Dawn.
Good morning, Jason. Lovely to speak to you.
And lovely to speak to you as well.
Brightly as ever.
And lovely to see you on the telly, popping up now and again on various things. Amazing. And this is the problem, isn't it? Yeah, but this is the problem. There's no TV, film, or anything being done at the moment. Apart from Emmerdale, they're going back.
Yes, Emmerdale are going back. They are the first, but they literally will be self-isolating on set.
Yes.
Any close-up shots will be distanced, and what they will be doing is using film angles to make them look as if they're standing closer to each other.
Right.
So it's all to do with, you will notice that there will be some strange angle shots and that sort of thing, so that they actually look like they're during the intimate scenes, that they're closer.
Yes.
This was actually started about 3 to 4 weeks ago when in Australia they started filming Neighbours. And they were talking about how they were going to try and use angle shots to try and give the intimate scenes. Unfortunately, obviously you've got the main actors and a vastly reduced crew, but for the support artists that we support, there will be none. There will be none.
So there's no extras, what we'd call extras, but what are their? Yeah. What is their real name? What would you...
Well, everyone prefers to be called a support artist.
A support artist, yeah. That's it, yes.
I mean, basically, extra is kind of an old term. I don't think people like it because extras sound a bit like an old chair. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yes. Whereas a support artist, that's what we do. Without us, the scene is empty.
Yes, yes.
You know, you can imagine go to any film and just close your eyes and listen, and you can hear the scene, then open your eyes, watch the scene and see everything that fills the background. Now just imagine somebody putting a curtain across that background, and all you're seeing is the two people walking along the street. How bizarre would that be? How you know?
And a lot of people who do this work, Dawn, are freelancers, aren't they? And that's the thing. It's tough for them. All of them. Yeah.
It's not just about a lot of them. There is no such thing as, these days, there used to be, but not anymore, every single support artist is self-employed. So nobody has been able to be furloughed in any way, shape or form.
What about the government's self-employed help that they've been giving?
Yeah.
What's been going on there with people?
Some people, because people who have been working as background artists for a long period of time, they have been able to apply. Yeah. But often you find that support artists have maybe 2 jobs to keep themselves going, because it is a very, very difficult industry.
Of course, yeah.
It's very competitive. Everybody thinks they can do it. So, you know, a lot of people have second jobs and to support themselves, but a lot of people who have second jobs aren't even working in their second jobs. Or, like myself, not only am I a jobbing actor, I'm also a therapist, but of course I can't see my clients, so I've been earning absolutely zilch. Yes, I have been very, very lucky because I've been putting my accounts in for 25 years now. I have been able to get some support.
But of course, it's different every year, from year to year, and it's only going on the last year, isn't it?
It's going on the last 3 years. It's an average of the last 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's not so much about what's happening now. It's trying to look forward to the future that we have the concerns about. We can survive 2, 3, 4 months, but it's the ongoing looking at how we are going to make things safe for the future.
And what have you been thinking about then, and what plans are being made?
Yeah, we've been in huge consultation. So the FAA, Bectu, we've had vast amounts of Zoom meetings. Oh, the joys of Zoom. And we have put together a document which was a proposal across the board. Remember, Bectu covers the whole industry. So you have makeup artists, you have riggers, you have electricians,
it's the Broadcasting, Entertainment, Communications and Theatre Union, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. So we cover the whole gamut. So we are so lucky that we have been able to come together as a union, and we put together guidance for going back to safely on set. Part of this guidance has been set to the BFC, the British Film Commission. They are also putting together basically pulling together this information from ourselves and other unions. They will be forwarding a document, hopefully within the next week, to the HSE and the DCMS and the government. And we are hoping that from this document that we will start the first tentative steps towards opening up the studios, Pinewood, Elstree, to be able to start working again. But it is going to be a very, very different world.
Absolutely. And of course, that's great for people who are working in film and TV. But when it comes to theatre, it's a whole different ballgame, isn't it?
Oh, theatre is, obviously that's not the field that I support as a chair, but it's my field. Theatre, to be honest, my heart breaks as I talk about this. I mean, there are theatres who are basically saying we may never open again. The government's suggestions. This is from people who are supposed to be educated, who are supposed to be people who understand the businesses that
it's a huge industry, massive for London. Theatre,
absolutely. But it's not just London. Manchester, huge, Liverpool, all of the central areas have huge theatre areas that people go and visit. But London, you can imagine. Forget about Broadway. You talk about the West End.
Yeah, and the knock-on effect of theatres closing with the restaurants and everything else supporting them.
Absolutely. It will be a ghost town.
Listen, Dawn, I've got to go, but one thing that you want the government or anyone to do to help your industry would be what?
Well, there's two things. Obviously, to look seriously at the health and safety aspects of actually going back onto set and try and drive these through and support us. Seriously, take time and support us. Secondly, as individuals, we have a fairly large membership, and even through our membership, we're able to feed out information. So, for instance, I put something out on Facebook the other day and just asked for feedback, and people came back with words like desperate, afraid, despondent, left behind, rejected. So we get this feeling of where our members are coming from. But we need people who are in the industry. I know this is an odd time to ask people to start shelling out money, but it is only through joining together, holding hands and walking forward as a huge group that we will actually get the recognition that is required for our industry.
All right, Tom.
So if you are a support artist, then please consider joining the FAA, support your union, support Bectu, and ensure that we can move forward on your behalf to get things moving.
Dawn Spragg, thank you so much.